Okay, Richard Skinner from the Inquirer is here. So is the former big leaguer Dave Collins. Guys, you saw the poll question. Biggest culprit for the Reds' struggles so far this season? Is it injuries, the front office, just an overall lack of production? I mean, what do you think it is?
You see, always with these poll questions are so good, I have to say yes, which is all the above.
All the above, yeah.
If you had to give me one, I'm going to go front office because they've made some signings that were a bit questionable in the last few years. You can argue Homer Bailey was questionable. Was it time to do that kind of contract with him? Brandon Phillips was questionable because it was late to a large degree in his career.
Right.
You know, people even question the Votto signing. Was he really worth that kind of money? So all of those things together, combined with the fact you haven't drafted very well, your farm system right now stinks badly. I mean, you have no margin for error, and guess where we're at right now? With the injuries, you have a lot of margin that you need to make up for, and they just cannot do it.
Dave, leaky bullpen was another option. Is that one as well?
Yeah, for me, I liked Skin's answer, and I think he's right. In a market like ours, you can't make a mistake giving out big money. And when they signed Votto, I don't think they looked for Votto to be hitting second a year later. Homer Bailey, would we be talking about Homer Bailey right now if he hadn't signed that contract prior to this year? But for me, it's the offense. Their offense, to me, is not good. And it's been a big problem for them, hitting with men in scoring position, executing, trying to get that run over or that run in. Look at their record in one-run games has been probably as bad as anybody in the National League. But to me, it's their offense. And I don't see guys improving as they've been in the big leagues. Like Billy Hamilton's improving.
Mesoraco's improving.
Hamilton's improving. From the beginning of the season, Hamilton's improving.
Yes.
But some of these guys have been here for a couple of years, and they're still not improving with men in scoring position.
And Mike, the bullpen has been an issue here just because they've let games that were semi-close get out of control.
Yeah.
You know what? If that's where you're going to blow games and have your ERA get inflated, I'm good with that. When they start blowing games when you're up a run and you blow that late, then we've got a problem with the bullpen. It is troublesome when you look at ERAs. I still think it's a good bullpen at the end of the day.
And certainly last year was a beacon for this franchise, and they probably don't make the postseason without that bullpen.
Exactly.
I'm guessing as the season warms up a little bit,
they'll be fine. Honestly, the bullpen's going to be fine.
That won't be the undoing of this team.
Right.
Long story short. All right, Devin Mesoraco came back from the disabled list, his second stint of the season. He came off his first stint, raced out to a batting average of more than 500. Now he's batting a cool 500 again after a four-hit day today. He is a catcher, right? I mean, Dave, have you ever seen anything like this?
I tell you what, he's an outstanding hitter. And everything they projected him to be, he's been that and then some. But offensively, he's been phenomenal with this club. And every time he's in the lineup and they win, he's a big part of the win.
Sure, absolutely.
Don Werner and Dave Van Gorder never did this, did they? Huh?
No, they didn't.
No, they didn't even come close to this. We talked about this a couple of 3 weeks ago. It's almost time to say you are our cleanup hitter. You're the guy in the middle of the lineup. And the one thing I will tell you is I'd love to see when everything's healthy, and the injuries you have to factor in a little bit. I would like to see a lineup that has Hamilton and Votto and Bruce and Mesoraco and Todd Frazier somewhere 1 through 5, however you want to mix it. I want to see what that group does, and that drops Brandon down probably to a better spot than what he is right now in the 6-7 hole. Devin Mesoraco, to me, I don't question him anymore. I think long-term he's going to be a really good player.
No, he's certainly off to an unbelievable start this year if he can just stay healthy and off the disabled list. Speaking of the disabled list, we're going to find out what they'll do with Joey Votto now. He's got the strained quadriceps. Threw everybody for a curve on Friday with the MRI, staying back. But you felt maybe it's time for him to rejoin the ball club in Washington, regardless of what they do here.
Dave can address this better than I can because he's been in a clubhouse, in a dugout, he's been a coach, he's been a player, so he can address it far better than I can. But the thing I'll tell you is I saw Jay Bruce in the dugout. Jay Bruce is on the DL. He is actually on the disabled list.
And had a surgery.
He could easily stay back and say, I'm not going. Not only was he in the dugout, he wasn't in like a sweatsuit. He was in uniform in the dugout. Dave, and I'll kind of toss it to him in this regard, to me, Dave, that tells me that's a great teammate. That's a guy that wants to be a part of this. Now, maybe Joey does, but, show it. You could have gotten there Saturday. You could have been there today.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, I mean, you don't win with great players. You win with great players that are leaders. And to me, if Joey Votto's not on the disabled list, why is he not with his team? Why is he not with his teammates?
The Friday, I think, will give me the MRI on Friday. I'm going to give you the Friday.
No question about it.
Fine, yeah.
But after that, to me, he's in Washington and Philadelphia this weekend with his teammates rehabbing right there with Jay Bruce because they're supposed to be two big leaders on this team. And I think that's been a problem for this club is leadership, and they've got to get it from the big boys.
And they had it with Bronson Arroyo. Obviously, he is gone, but still, as a pitcher every 5th day, it's not the same kind of clubhouse leadership you need from an everyday guy.
No, and this, Dave talked about this before you got here last year. I mean, this is something we actually talked about early last season. There's just not that guy. I mean, Billy Hamilton's too young. Zach Cozart stinks. Todd Frazier's too young and at times has stunk. He doesn't right now. Ryan Ludwig's an average big league ball player. It's got to come from one of those main core of guys. Brandon Phillips is too into me. Joey Votto's too into me. Jay Bruce is kind of quiet, and it's just not his nature. So, right there, who are we looking at as the leader? Maybe Devin, and I don't see that from him yet. It's not his time yet.
No, maybe it's a Todd Frazier. I mean, as he gets older, who knows? Very quickly, don't look now. Swinging a good bat, Zach Cozart.
He is. He's over 200. I think Dave and I have talked about this a bunch. You hit him 8th, and he hits 245 to 250. He's going to hit you 30 doubles, 6 triples, 12 home runs, drive in 55 runs, and play great defense. The problem is, right now with this offense, you're actually hoping he does more than that. He's just not capable. The back of his ball card says he's not.
Dave, very quickly, 10 seconds or less. Are they in trouble, or can they right the ship here and get things going a little bit?
I think they're in trouble. I mean, I know they've got a lot of injuries, but they've got some trouble and things they got to address. And to me, it's their offense, and they got to get that going.
Dave Collins, Richard Skinner, thanks so much, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.